Welcome to the Manifest Your Masterpiece podcast. My name is Farah Fisher, and I am a manifestation expert, mindset educator, and lifelong creator. If you're looking to massively uplevel your life, relationships, finances, and success, you're in the right spot. I'm on a mission to serve up fresh, hot tools, resources, strategies, concepts, and stories to guide you towards the life you've always dreamed of but never thought was possible. This podcast is your weekly mindset development toolkit to help you maximize your power to live your life by design. It's time to unleash the creator within by tapping into your truly infinite potential. Thank you so much for pressing play, and now let's begin. Welcome to episode 3 of the Manifest Your Masterpiece podcast. I'm Farah Fisher, your host, and today we're going to be talking about crushing procrastination once and for all. Procrastination is something that we have all dealt with once or more. It really is a damper on our lives, especially when we're trying to attract a life that's a lot more vibrant and greater than the one we currently have. Procrastination definitely is one of the biggest causes of resistance in our field of energy when we're talking about manifestation. And manifestation is completely non-resistance. It leads me to the question, do you ever find yourself lost in your obligations? It's almost as if in just one moment, life becomes a dream and all of your mundane routines and habits were able to sustain your time and worth. Like all of the normal things that you've been set up to do are feeding your life just enough to get you by. But sometimes we have objectives in mind, and having an objective is a great start. There's the vision right there. But how would you go about connecting your mental imagery with your physical realm? That's where procrastination begins to peek its head in. This is where procrastination starts to come in. Once you have that idea built, then getting it to happen in your physical realm is kind of a difficult thing to do sometimes. So procrastination, just to clear up, is when you have something on your to-do list and it consistently gets pushed to the wayside. Or it takes so long for you to complete this task that in the end, you find yourself exhausted or beat up over trying so hard to make yourself complete the task. Guys, we all go through this, and it's called having a poor motivational strategy. When you're motivated, you're compelled. And when you're compelled, you take action. So if you really do find yourself wanting to do this thing, but don't feel so compelled to do it, don't worry about it, okay? Don't freak out. There is clarity on the horizon. If you have a good motivational strategy, you are able to work towards your goals with more fulfillment, more purpose, and overall enjoyment. And all these feelings will only bring you more of these feelings, right? This is the law of attraction. But first, we have to take a look at the kinds of poor motivational strategies we might have been using. I know I've used them, a lot of people have used them, and the key to change is to identify where to start. And usually where to start is to look at what you've been doing wrong. So here are some common poor motivational strategies that we all, at one point or another, have used. The first poor motivational strategy is called the negative motivator. Okay, this is when you delay your obligations up to the point where you have to induce a negative consequence to get your ass moving. You could be saying things like, oh, I don't want to be late for my job because I'll get fired, so I have to get out of bed. Or I don't want my wife to scream at me when I get home, so I have to get her flowers. Or I don't want to be a failure, so I have to X. The problem with this motivational strategy is that we use a negative factor to get moving, and whatever we choose to focus on will come towards us, okay? Law of attraction, boom. It doesn't make life feel rewarding. Instead, when we use this strategy, life feels like a punishment if we don't follow through with our obligations. What kind of way to live is that? That doesn't sound like fun, no way. But I've done it. Okay, so that's the first thing is identifying, hey, is that me? The second poor motivational strategy is the dictator. This is when you use harsh tones either with your voice or in your head to dictate your actions. When you use the dictator, you might encounter words like, just do it, dumbass, or you have to, or get up now or else, or you don't have a choice. The voice is really strong, harsh, and serious, almost like a military leader or like a really just angry person. And there's a couple problems with this motivational strategy. Problem number 1, no one likes to be yelled at, not even by your own self, right? It doesn't feel good to yell at yourself. Problem number 2, Again, with the negative vibe, you're giving that to yourself by trying to motivate yourself with screaming and harsh words. And you know what happens when we project negativity? It comes running back to you like a boomerang, okay? The third poor motivational strategy is to imagine doing it. When you practice the imagine doing it strategy, you imagine yourself doing the unpleasant task, but you feel compelled to get the result and feel good. The result is making you want to do it. This could be something like having to wash the dishes. You don't want to wash the dishes, but having a clean sink sure does sound nice. So it's really the end result that is driving your actions. This one seems like the least damaging, although throughout the motivation process, you might feel restless or pushed like a child. If you were to find enjoyment in the task at hand, there might not be any issues at all. The fourth and final motivational strategy is overwhelm. This is when you imagine the entire task as one huge mass of work without chunking down the steps in the certain task at hand. So forgetting to chunk down our goals can really overwhelm and discourage us to the point where we want to take a nap or eat something else, or like just focus on something else just to deter from that overwhelming sensation. Overwhelm, in my opinion, is one of the more common poor motivational strategies, especially with so much information being thrown at us nowadays in the world of technology. Online, in the media, on the street, like wherever you go, there's information being slammed into your brain. And it's hard to feel like you can do it all. So that's where overwhelm comes in. Overwhelm is dangerous because it can sometimes cause physical reactions in your body that make you feel tired or stressed out. And when our bodies and minds exude a stressful vibration, more of it comes our way. We always have to think about the law of attraction when we are being conscious of our emotions and how things are making us feel, because our feelings are going to just come right back to us in a physical form, in a manifestation. All of these motivational strategies have the ability to get the job done, but none of them feel good and usually result in some stress within your mind and body. So now that we've gone over these nearly useless motivational strategies, how do we start to create a new strategy? Firstly, you have to see what's going right in your strategy. If something is working for you and it feels good, keep it. But if the whole thing isn't working, then dropping it would be your best bet. Designing a new strategy really happens in the demonstration in your head. So I'll lead you through that right now. Think of a time when you had a problem motivating yourself the way you'd like to. If you were procrastinating or hesitating, were you saying something to yourself, visualizing something, or feeling something? We can take Irene, for example. Irene wants to dedicate more time to biking, but every time she goes to do it, she says, well, I don't feel like it. So she is relying on her feelings alone and not completing her goal. In the end, she feels insecure and disappointed in herself. When you're feeling not so motivated, are you just using one of these three senses? If so, that might actually be the culprit of your last-minute decision to procrastinate. Yeah, it actually is a decision to procrastinate. When designing a new motivational strategy, having all three senses involved will help you complete a goal. If you simply started out with really wanting to do it, what will the task feel like, look like, and sound like? In Irene's case, when she asked herself this question, she said that riding a bike felt great as she felt the wind on her skin. The act of riding a bike looked beautiful, all of the trees and sunshine. And the sounds of the wind in her breath while riding her bike were exciting to her. So by utilizing these three senses, she was actually able to combat her insecurities and procrastination with a great motivational strategy. As soon as she felt one strong sense come on, then she accessed the three senses as a whole in her mindset of wanting to do it. Wanting to do it. She accessed the mindset of wanting to do it. So when developing your new strategy, think of these three senses: visual, auditory, and feeling, and ask yourself this question. If you simply started out with really wanting to do it, what will doing the task feel like, look like, and sound like? This is a really powerful question, and I'm positive that it'll change your life and the way you go about getting things done. Not only will it bring you more enjoyment and fulfillment into your life, but it'll always raise your vibration, therefore bringing more reasons to be happy into your life. But this new strategy doesn't just work after creating it, though. Really utilize it and make it your own, you must repeat it. Your subconscious mind will learn to pick it up from your repetition and make a healthy habit out of your new motivational strategy. Repeating is the key. By the way, notebooks are really great. I'm a huge advocate for handwriting. When you type, your subconscious mind doesn't understand that it's you typing. But when you handwrite, your subconscious mind sees that and recognizes your handwriting, and therefore can install a new belief or strategy in an easier and quicker way. Anytime you start to feel procrastination peek its head into your view, just close your eyes, enter the mindset of really wanting to do this task, and imagine what the task would feel like, sound like, and look like while enjoying it. Here are some examples for some typically hard to motivate tasks. Washing the dishes. Okay, so in this scenario, I could say, I can feel the warm water on my hands. I can smell the soap. I can see my sink getting clearer and my dishes getting cleaner. This feels nice. So it all feels good. It's a really nice experience washing the dishes if you so choose that. Okay, paying a bill, right? This is a huge one for a lot of people. People hate bills. The vibe around paying a bill sucks. Like, people do not want to pay a bill. But I could go on and say, it feels good to be able to pay this bill because I enjoy my electricity and water, or X, whatever you're paying for. I look at my bank account and I still have money in it. Voila, there it is. There's still money in there. I did not run myself dry by paying that bill. And if you did, guess what? Money's going to come back in. Anyway, in my head, I say to myself, I'm thankful for all my resources. I gladly pay this bill because I received a service. So once you get the hang of creating new strategies, really anything and everything can be done with a light heart and a kind willingness to do so. Implementing the strategy is the tricky part though. Remember, every time you feel a poor excuse coming on for not doing something, implement. You can even practice implementing on your own time. So you could be sitting in a chair or on the train, just close your eyes. All you have to do is think of the task that you have a problem motivating yourself with. Then you will feel the bad feeling enter. The moment that that feeling comes around, begin to think inside the mindset of loving the task. Begin to think inside the mindset of loving the task and being excited to get it done. What does that feel like, look like, and sound like? You'll actually be surprised at how enjoyable any task can actually be. Like especially washing the dishes, paying a bill, for example. Life truly is a game of strategy, and this is one tactic that you can use to lighten up, attract more abundance into your life, and enjoy more of life's moments. This topic to me in particular is so freaking important because in a world of so many to-do list items, or even just being a human, we tend to make it so difficult or unenjoyable while completing our tasks, and this is not the way our lives were meant to be lived, really. We live in a universe of abundance, and our lives can be lived abundantly too. I hope that this is a huge help for you and that you benefit from this. I know I have, and thousands of other people have as well. Best of luck to all of you beautiful souls. Remember that in each moment, you have the capacity to sculpt and create your reality in the way that you want. You are powerful. And you have choices. You do have choices right now. So thank you again for connecting with me on this episode. I really, really hope that you have a beautiful day and that you're able to form a new motivational strategy for yourself. Get some things done. Kick some ass today. You got this. Remember to find me on Instagram. That's Manifest Your Masterpiece, all one word. And make sure to subscribe to the podcast for more episodes that come out every single Wednesday. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll tune in with you next time.